Your ability to focus is so powerful when it comes down to getting any work done. Not only that, but making any true progress exponentially comes from being able to focus on a task for a long period of time. So in this video, I'm going to go over 5 tips to help you improve your ability to focus. So jumping right into it, the first thing you can start doing right now is meditating. Meditating might seem like a way to reduce anxiety and depression and calm yourself down all around, but it also has an amazing ability to improve your focus. The whole idea behind meditation is that you are sitting down and trying to focus on one thought, one idea, or just allowing thoughts to pass you by without focusing on one individually. But meditation basically is just training your ability to focus on something and not allow yourself to be distracted by your own mind. Your brain is constantly searching for mental stimulation. So if you're just sitting there doing nothing and just focusing on one thought, whether it's a mantra, or if you're just listening to a meditation app guide you through meditation, your brain wants something to do besides just that, because it's kind of boring compared to our phones and TikTok and YouTube and all these things that are giving us constant, instant gratification. That's just reducing our ability to focus all around. So by continuing to meditate, you're improving your ability to focus because you're practicing focusing on something without allowing things to take your attention away to somewhere else. Second tip is to read more. Now, reading is basically doing the same thing as meditation, as you're sitting down trying to focus on one task while your brain is probably looking for something a little more stimulating that's going to give you some more dopamine hits. So by continuing to read, you're constantly improving your ability to focus on a task for a long period of time. You can probably go a lot longer and be a little more entertained than just meditating. So reading is another way to practice focusing without having to sit and meditate and do nothing for 20 minutes. Not to mention how much you could actually learn from reading. My third tip is to unplug before you start doing a task you want to focus on for a long period of time. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but for me, whenever I'm on my phone, I'm watching YouTube videos for a long period of time, or I just wake up and go right on my phone and go on social media, everything else seems a little more harder to focus on because my brain wants to go back and just go to that instant gratification. But by unplugging for a little bit, or before you even get out of bed and waiting before you go on your phone, you are allowing your brain to be more calm and allow yourself to focus on something without that nagging voice in the back of your head telling you, wait, I want to be doing something a lot more entertaining than this. Why can't I just go on my phone? Just grab it, quick, just 10 minutes. But that 10 minutes becomes 20, that 20 becomes 30, that 30 becomes an hour. So before you do any task you want to go for a long period of time and get into a more focused state, unplug for an hour beforehand. This will allow your brain to slow down and not crave your phone as much. My fourth tip is to set a time limit when you're going to focus on a task for a long period of time. This is a trick I've used for a long time now, and all it is basically setting an alarm for, let's say, an hour to do a homework assignment or do something for work. By doing this, you're giving yourself a dedicated goal to focus on and say, hey, I can do this for an hour, and when I'm done, you can even reward yourself with a 15-minute break or just something to look forward to. And this will allow you to focus more because you know I'm going to stop eventually. It's not like you're going to sit down and just try to get this done, and as you get into it, you have no goal of when you're going to stop. So you're like, should I stop now? Should I stop now? And your brain is just constantly asking this question. Maybe I can just go on my phone for a little bit now. But that little bit goes a lot longer than you imagine. And not only that, but the break you give yourself can be a limited time, and that limited time will allow you to more easily go back into that focused state and work for another hour or so. And doing this is also going to train you to work before you reward yourself, delaying that instant gratification until you've done what you need to do. And as you do it over and over again, it will get easier. My fifth tip is to get distractions out of sight. There's a reason why we have the saying, out of sight, out of mind. It's because we're very visual creatures. So everything in our field of view is sending a signal to our brain and we are thinking about it. So if we have our phone right next to us, even if it's out the corner of our eye, our brain's gonna remember that, it's gonna recognize it's right there, and we're gonna be constantly thinking like, oh, my phone, maybe I should go on it, go watch a YouTube video, go on TikTok for 5 seconds. It's gonna distract you because your brain is gonna be constantly thinking about it. Not to mention it's gonna tire you out, as this constant voice in the back of your head is gonna drain your ability to focus and your willpower to resist it. So instead of just turning your phone off and putting it to the side, or even in your pocket, try to put it in a place that you can't even see. By doing this, your brain's gonna stop thinking about it as much, because your brain is only gonna think about what's right in front of you. So if you just have your work in front of you and nothing else, you're gonna much more likely be able to focus specifically and only on that task. Before I go, I got a bonus 6th tip for you guys, and that is go somewhere else that is outside of your normal work environment. For me, I'm always working at my desk in my bedroom, and this is not the best place to do work because I have everything that can possibly distract me in my room. I have my phone right next to me, although I've been trying to put that away, as I just said, but there's posters in my room, as you can see. That could cause me to think about something else. There's books, like, oh, maybe I could read that for 5 minutes because I don't want to do this task. Or I have my TV here that I could just watch Netflix on. All of these things are constantly, like the phone, nagging at you to do them instead of the task that might be a little more boring or a little more difficult to focus exclusively on. Think about the times when you were in school and you had a lot of homework to do. So you went to the library and focused on the task. Remember how much work you got done because you were in a library, which was not only not your normal work environment, but it was also in a public setting that you can't just start watching YouTube videos on or go off and just explore because there's people around. It's also putting a social pressure on you to focus on the task you went there to do. So next time you go to do work, instead of doing it in your bedroom or somewhere that you have a lot of distractions around, go out, go to the library, go to a coffee shop, just go anywhere that you're able to focus exclusively on your task without all these distractions around you. Even better, don't go with a friend unless you're working on something with them, because you might just start talking to them and not focus at all on your task at hand. At the end of the day, being able to focus comes down to practice. The more you do it, the easier it's gonna get. It's like any other muscle. You're just training it over and over again to focus on focusing. You could do all these tricks to try and make it easier, but the more you do it, the easier it'll get. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification. I'll catch you in the next video.